Okay, so shall we start this podcast? This is a surprise one. I have no idea what this podcast is about.
No.
We're going to do quick fire questions from Amanda. I don't know the subject. So we're going to admit these questions. I know these questions. We'll go through them. I think about my answers a lot of the time. This is properly off the cuff.
Well, just like to correct one thing you said there.
What?
You said there were to be quick fire questions. I don't think you're capable of quick fire questions.
Quick fire questions means I need to think quick. It doesn't mean I'm going to answer quick.
Yeah.
I'm curious. It's like a note with waiting for Christmas.
What's your guess?
I don't know what we're talking about.
What would your guess be?
No idea.
You have to guess. Have at least one guess.
Health and wellness.
Kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the cheesy line you said this morning?
We're so in sync. Today, we are going to be talking about...
I don't know, by the way.
You're so excited, aren't you? Look at you go.
I can't wait. I like surprises.
Okay. The importance of your lifestyle to back up your entrepreneurial journey.
Oh, that's deep.
I'm a deep gal, what can I
The
say?
importance of your lifestyle
To back up a successful entrepreneurial
back
journey.
up a successful entrepreneurial journey.
When in your career did you realise that your lifestyle and your business goals and everything you're trying to achieve in business are linked? Was there a certain moment that you realised that? When did that click for you?
This is going to annoy me because I watched Jeff Bezos talk about this the other day. This was Bezos' line. Who owns Amazon, just in case you don't know who he is, right? Guy's an awesome guy.
I think
And
you know as well, isn't he?
Sorry?
Quite like buff too.
Solid.
Yeah.
He's aging super well.
Yeah.
He looks better as he gets older. Anyway, he looks younger and better, right?
Yeah.
On the right path. Anyway, he called it work-life harmony.
Ah, okay.
Someone asked him about work-life balance, and he's like, I don't like the way that's put across.
Yeah.
There's no balance. There's just harmony. And I'm like, what a lovely way. Like, they've both got to be in harmony, because
Yeah.
one of the things I teach new entrepreneurs is if your mind has to be in the right place, which it does if you're trying to build a business or you're just being, let's just say, sales, right? Your mindset's important, so it's important that you feel the best version of yourself as much as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this whole leave your work at the door and leave your
Personal life at home.
personal life. And you can't just forget what happened in the house that morning. You can't just, forget you were arguing with your wife or your boyfriend. You can't just forget that you had a horrible day at work. You somehow have to learn or understand and accept that one affects the other, which is why I like the harmony part.
Yeah.
Because they have harmony just means in harmony together. It's a togetherness. So the two of them have to be togetherness. The better my personal life, the better I'll be in my work life, and the better my work life, the better I'm going to be in my we're human beings, right? So I just think your lifestyle is really important. My lifestyle, I'll give you the easiest version of lifestyle in me. Happiness takes effort. The happier I am, the more energy I'll have. The more energy I have, the more I can give whatever journey I'm on some. And by some, I mean give it effort, right? So you have to, for lifestyle for me, it's completely different for everybody, but you have to create a life that makes you feel the best and happiest version of you. That in turn will help you be the best version of yourself professionally, which again will make you stand more chance to be good professionally, which again goes to that. And then you've got this whole harmony thing. Easy rules of life for me about having a good life, indulging the things that I love doing and the people I love hanging about with as much as possible, and stay as far fucking away from things that upset me, frustrate me, or people that make me feel negative as much as possible. If you do more good than bad, more good things in your life, there's more things that make you happy than make you sad, then it's going to be a good life. So I think your lifestyle is important. I think your health's important, how you feel is important. Everything's important because it's cause and effect, right? So
I also feel like though when you're an entrepreneur, it's not a 9-to-5 thing.
Yep.
You can't switch one of them off. So I think it is very much like they're even more intertwined than and I don't mean this offensively, than someone that just works a job.
Yeah.
You know, they can probably separate those things a little bit more. But if you're an entrepreneur, you can't.
Yeah, because your business is like a baby. It's yours.
Yeah, and
You
it's
own
not
it,
something
so you
that
care
5
more than
o'clock
when you
and you're
don't.
like, right, I'm going to stop thinking about that now, and
What?
it magically happens.
Oh, wash.
I woke up last night at 3 a.m. thinking about contracts, and I was up. That was me up. I was like, oh, great. I was reading a docu-sign at 4 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
So fun.
Yeah, you can't. And even, can I just say, but you don't have to be entrepreneurial. So you should, like, you just have to be career minded. So when
Yeah.
you're saying entrepreneurial, career minded, I think there's jobs you do to make money, and then there's a career. So if you're a career person, it means you've got an entrepreneurial nature, but you just don't want to do it for yourself. You'd rather be part of something where. So I think for anybody watching this, it's not just whether you run your own business. If you're in career mode, you're not going to switch off, right? The lawyer that works at a law firm that wants to climb the ladder is not going to switch off.
Yeah.
The lawyer who's in the law job just because it's a good job and it's secure, they're going to be able to leave at 5 o'clock at night, not think about any of their clients or any of the work. But the career mode one, and you can also be those two people, because there's plenty of times where I've been in job mode, and so you can be someone who's job mode who goes into career mode. So I think you're right. When you're in job mode, it's easy to forget about it, and it's easy for both not to affect each other. But when you're in career mode, growth mode, entrepreneurial mode, high performing mode, then you're going to eat, sleep, and breathe what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Because someone who's in a career is in love with the idea of something, and this is my version of love, right? Years ago, I don't know where I heard this. I heard someone years ago talk about, you're in love with something when it's the first thing you wake about when you think up. So you love contracts.
Do you want to try that word again? The first thing you wake up when you think up.
Oh, sorry. It's the first thing you think about when you wake up.
Yeah.
You can't stop thinking about it the whole day, and you're thinking about it as you fall asleep. They're like, that's love. So somebody who's in love with the career or the idea of where their career's going, or somebody who's an entrepreneur is in love with their business, then it's a 24/7, like you say, but that's not a bad thing. But that also means you're going to have to learn. Again, I like Jeff Bezos' version. I'm not a big believer in they can be balanced all the time. There's got to be imbalance. But from now on, I'm going to call it work-life harmony. I just think that was a really smart way. Jeff Bezos is a super smart guy, obviously, but I think it was a really nice way to articulate how things should work together when you're trying to build a company.
And how do you feel like your lifestyle has evolved then in your 22-year journey that you've been on?
I keep adding things that make it better, and I keep taking away things that don't add value. I gave up watching football this year because I can take that 90 minutes back every week and replace it with something that adds value. So I replace it with spending time with my girls. The football caused frustration for a lot of the time for the team I support, heartache. More the frustration part. And I found myself getting frustrated once, twice a week. And that wasn't really adding any value to my life. Alcohol I stopped a couple of years ago because it just wasn't adding any value to my life. It was more valuable not to drink than it was. So constantly just thinking about things that will make my life better and easier and add value and give me a return on investment. And I'm thinking about taking away things that don't. I just started doing this, but every time I go to turn the TV on, I stick a podcast on or pick up a book, and I'm trying to train myself to watch less TV and do more learning, right? Not too much, because too much learning I think's bad. There are loads of people that I know that just learn all the time, never actually do it, because they're just so busy learning all the time. So I try not to cross the line with that. But I think every year, you actually says to me that I've not given anything up this year. I think I've next year I'm back off processed sugar. I'm done for life.
I mean, I hardly would say you were on it. You've had like a bit of cake here and there.
I'm off, but again, I just think about how my lifestyle can be better, and every year, when it gets to the end of the year, I start to think about what I could have done better this year, and what things have happened this year that probably I shouldn't involve myself with next year, and so I overscheduled myself last week, you remember? And today we'll talk with Harris, and he's like, I'll come through and see you, and I'm like, nah, I'm not overscheduling myself. He had some things to say about that, but I'm like, I'm already planning my week. I'm not. So I need to be, every year I'm just thinking about how I can make my life easier and better. And that requires me to indulge in more things that add value and make me feel good and hang about with people. One of my best mates just moved back from Canada, and I make a fucking point of seeing him all the time because hanging about with him makes me happy.
Did you reply?
James. Oh, did I not tell you? He's back in
No.
Manny.
Because I asked you, like, oh, I've not. Remember, I was with you when you texted him.
Sent him a message randomly on Saturday night. So after the girl, sorry, we're going to go off thing. But this is a person that makes me happy, and I'm very limited because I'm very picky with my friends.
Yeah.
I'm very picky with people I let in my bubble. And I was like a kid in a sweet shop on Saturday, so I texted him on Saturday because I texted him. We were in a conversation the other day, and I asked him a question, and he ignored me. He's busy. He's running companies, right? And just moved back to the UK, Manchester, to start a new company. So he's obviously swamped.
Still is sales.
Yeah, still. And so I just got a message on Saturday night walking to Domino's for the kids. I see you're still rude. It just got, oh shit. My question was, are you over for Christmas? Are you coming home? Can we see each other? And he's like, I moved back last week. So I'm like, I'm phoning you in 20 minutes. And I phone him like, what the fuck? Why would you not tell? I said, nice to know where I am in the pecking order. Are you telling me you're moving back to the country? He's like, actually, you're very high up in the pecking order. And I was like a kid in a sweet shop. I'm like, this makes me so happy. And it's funny because we're so close and we're wild when we get together. And he just found out I'm still off drinking. He's like, don't come see me if you're not drinking. I'm like, I'm still a great time. He's like, you're never a great time drunk. I'm like, anyway, good banter, right? But actually, it's quite funny in the car. And he's like, what did his brody's excited you're back? He's like, yeah, but what did her face say? Do you know why? Him and I and Olu, our other mate, we want to buy a bar together.
Doesn't he own a beach bar in Nigeria
yes,
already?
He does in Lagos. And so I says to I asked my wife again, because when I first says to her that we want to buy I says to her the other night, good, does this mean we can buy our bar in Manchester? We own a bar in Manchester. We've always says how cool it would be for us to get a business together and own a nice, cool bar. And he says, yeah. And I says to my wife, now that I don't drink, can I own a bar with James? And she's like, yeah, it's still dangerous, but yeah. And she started giving me all the reasons we shouldn't own a bar, but I overturned every reason, to be fair.
Yes, he did.
Anyway, point being, I'm happier that he's close back to me.
Yeah.
And I'm happier that I can pick up the phone and he's in the same country. And he's one person that I'll make a point of seeing a few times a year.
Well, we're in Manchester in 3 weeks' time.
It's already planned. We're already down. I'm going to see him. I'm going to hang out. I will go to Manchester more now, which will benefit Ross because my mate's there. He's a mate in business, and he's a good mate. But again, my life, it's going to sound really cheesy. If I'm happier because I'm seeing him, it's going to affect my business. It's going to affect it. So I think I was answering the question, which was indulging things that make you happy and stay away from things that don't.
That was no any other question, but I'm glad you said that.
And often around, don't edit that. I think that's a good example of being excited about something that makes me happy. I could feel the level of happiness in me change when he wrote that, and I was like a kid in a sweet shop. And I think my wife thought it was really cute because, again, I believe it or not, I don't have much time for a lot of people. I'm just very, very, very picky about people I let in my bubble, and I'm in a very different, not in a different wavelength as in better than anyone, but there's not a lot of people I think I connect with. But he's one. It's funny because when we first met, I think it took us 15 minutes to establish ourselves as mates. It's one of their mates.
The two Jameses.
Yeah, James and James. He's way more intelligent than me. I get the looks, you get the brains. But again, if I can hang about him more and it makes me feel happier in my personal life, I know it's definitely going to make me feel happier in my professional life.
Yeah, no, I think that's very true. They're like you were saying in the beginning, they're so interlinked. But how do you feel like the role of downtime or like leisure time, do you feel like how important is that in entrepreneurship and in your journey?
Super important, but only when I need it. So there was like a 12-week stint there where I never really had any real downtime. So funny because I track my sleep, and last night was the best sleep I've had because I sleep 6 hours, as we know, right? And it's been horrific. And last night was the first good night's sleep I got, but I think the last time I got a good night's sleep like that was about 12 or 13 weeks ago. And it's because mentally I've not had any real downtime because there's been loads going on. So when I need a rest, I turn my phone off. So it's like, when do you stop going to the gym? It's like everybody's body's a bit different, right? So I think you need downtime. I think you need to switch off. I think it's like, I watched this thing not that long ago, and it was talking about how when you have no phone signal and get into nature, you freak out for a wee minute, but then you feel really happy and relaxed, and that's really your brain thanking you for giving it a rest. Because when you're in urban areas or busy areas, even if you're not thinking, your brain's having to process. So in this room, my brain's still having to process everything it sees and the colours and that noise that's in the background. Even though I'm not listening to noise, I know it's there, but my brain's processing it all. So your brain's actually working.
Stimulated.
And your brain's like a muscle, but that's why when you have nothing to do, you feel really good. It's actually your brain. I seen this, I think it was Andrew Huberman actually, or Gary Brecker, one of the two, right? It's usually where I get my information on in human biology, right, or psychology, but at high performing people. But I think it definitely was Huberman. He's like, your brain actually says, thanks for giving me a rest, and feeds you dopamine and makes you feel happy. Which is why when we all go hill walks, we feel at peace and feel happy, because your brain needs a rest. So I think it's important physically and mentally to get some rest. And for me, I'm the kind of person that waits until I really need it before I can do it. I mean, if my business allows me to do it, sometimes I'm physically not doing it, but mentally I can't. And again, my sleep, even in my sleep, I can tell if my body's been stressed out and processing things during the night.
Yeah.
So we track all that. So downside to tracking things is you can wake up and realise very quickly that I slept and I'd done the hours, but I never actually got a good sleep because my head was busy. So I think it's super important. It's just like resting. It's just as important to rest when you're an athlete as it is to train, because if you don't rest, you don't recover and get stronger. If you tear the muscle and don't rest it, it doesn't have time to recover. Therefore, you'll never get stronger. So downtime's important, but I think, again, that's different for every single person. I'm all for figuring out my limits, but then when I hit my limit, I'm very quick to go, not doing anything. Remember not that long ago when I was at my limit, and I told you I was at my limit for my capacity for processing information, and you came out to talk to me one day, and I remember I stopped you and went, is this new? And you're like, yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I don't actually have the capacity to think about anything else, or my head was gonna explode. And that's when I know I need a day, I need some time. Business allowing you take it. So yeah, downtime's important.
And how do you feel like relationships, family, friends, relationships outside of your work world or outside of your career contribute to your success?
Massively. That's why I don't have a lot of relationships. That's why I'm picky. Because I just know how much a negative effect the wrong thing can have.
Or like positive, though.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I let people learn that are positive. Yeah, no, you're
like
right. So if you talk to anybody in business, they say this line, your network is your net worth, right? So I'm very, I think your relationships in work and out of work have an impact on you. You know, there's a guy called Dan Pena. Do you know who Dan Pena is? He's wicked. And he says, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So true.
Yeah.
Your mum and dad knew that when you were a kid. Remember? Don't hang about with them, they're bad, they'll get you in trouble. And it's so true. So I think you have to pick your relationships wisely. If I feel like a relationship has a negative effect in my life, I don't have it. I don't keep relationships just to keep relationships. I don't talk to people just because I'm related to them. I just don't. And my wife says I'm cold. But nah, if I don't think talking to you is going to make me feel good and add value, why would I? Yeah, if you're there and in the same place at the same time, I'll be lovely. But I'm not going to call you my friend just for the sake of calling you my friend. Yeah. So I think they're important because, again, if you hang about with people that add value to your life, you'll feel good. And if you feel good, you'll do good. And if you hang about with people that make you feel bad and are always full of drama, then you're going to feel bad and be full of drama. So I think it's everything's energy, isn't it? Sometimes I love people, but they've got, even some people that I've got in my life that there's a limit to how much, like, I like them, but there's a limit to how much time I can spend with them before it's not adding any value anymore. So there's different levels of relationships as well. So I'm always lovely to everybody, always. The people that I feel like that but don't know that, But
Yeah, you are very nice to everybody.
of course, I am lovely, but I'm also very strict with who I hang about with and who gets my energy and who not, because
Yeah.
it affects everybody.
Yeah.
You see it all the time. And there's people that don't do this, I see all the time, where people are having a negative effect in their life, and the amount of times I've had to say to someone, you need to cut that person out of your life. And they're like, I can't. I'm like, it's easy. Stop talking to them. They're actually holding you back. And you see this all the time, boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, and they're just, they bring people down. So I actually have to coach people in this sometimes. I'm like, you're not going to move forward until that relationship's either fixed or gone. It's like an obstacle, right? Either get over it or move out of the way. I'm not getting put.
Yeah.
I don't need to remove the obstacle out of the way, or I have to find a way around it. I can't just stand there and stare at the obstacle. You got to figure it out. And sometimes the relationships you have in your life are the things that are holding you back from where you need to go. That's just reality. Well, that's whether you're an entrepreneur or not. See, that's with my kids. Clinging on to relationships for the wrong reasons, and I'm like, that person adds zero value to your life. Why do you bother?
I think it's important as like a two-way thing though, and also just make it like to be a good friend or to be a good person in like someone else's life, is making sure that you're always adding that value and you're always being that person that brings the positivity and isn't.
Of course.
You know, I think it's a good reminder to kind of check yourself to make sure that you are that person that you would want in your life.
Of course. I'll call someone my friend or my friend. Like that's the end of. I'll do anything for them. Again, not a lot of people, because as you're right, I've got to be willing to commit back.
Yeah.
I got to be willing to commit to be there for somebody and do whatever for them, and you know. But I also can't lie. So yeah, you know.
Yeah. So how do you feel like what you put value on in your personal life affects your career?
What you accept is what you'll get. You got to have standards with everything. Yeah, hold yourself. Again, it's a conversation with my daughter. Like if she's willing to accept this, I feel terrible to a degree, right? She's got like C's, a B. She's got like an A star, which is the best you can get in maths, like an 85%. And I'm just like, it's not good enough. If I allow her to think that her accepting failure is acceptable, she's not going to amount to the person she wants to be. And even in I try and teach my kids that even in their friends groups, they have to hold themselves in high standards and be very picky and not just be friends to be friends and all this. I think everything you do. My wife will always say to me, everything's not a competition. I don't think everything is a competition as in what you would think of me competing with you and it's first to the top and this kind of things. But I think you got to compete with yourself, because the higher standards you hold in everything in life, maybe the food you eat, how clean your house is, your fitness levels, like, I don't know, you're learning whatever, then the higher standards you're going to hold yourself accountable to in your professional life as well. You know, sometimes I see people's cars and I can tell you how their professional life's going to be just because their car's a mess.
The car's really dirty.
Sorry?
Is yours clean now?
Mine's is clean. Clean enough. Clean enough to be, it's just, you know, cleanliness is important to me. It's how someone's standards and their appearance, I think, speaks volumes. There's one thing you can't slate successful people for. They always look good. Even in it. Mark Cuban always looks good even in a basketball t-shirt. He just looks like he made an effort even though he's got scraggy clothes on, right? So they have high standards of how they come across and look. So I think what you might have to edit this out.
Okay.
Pre-warn.
Okay.
Someone says this line to me once, years ago.
Oh, God.
And he says, James, standards are like underpants. If you drop them long enough, you'll get fucked.
Oh, my God.
Someone explaining standards to me. And I'm like,
it's
all right.
true, I
He's like, don't
guess.
fucking drop your standards because you get fucked somehow, mate.
Yeah, true.
I was a client trainer, by the way, and I'm not mentioning the client, but he actually taught me a lot of good stuff. Ex-sales guy, ex-sales trainer. When he says that in the Yorkshire accent, I'll never forget that. But he just was who he was, and his Yorkshire, a Leeds accent. His standards like underpants, you leave them down, you drop them long enough, you'll get fucked eventually.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, it's actually true.
But it's like, I think one thing to say on like
Probably
on
I'm gonna have
appearance.
to edit that out.
Nah, I'm keeping it in. I think one thing on like appearance though is like how you're saying there about different people. I think when with appearance, it doesn't need to be wearing like all the like most expensive gear or like all the designer stuff, but like just looking like you've taken care of yourself.
Fix
It
your
doesn't.
hair.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be like decked out head to toe and like
Brush your
Gucci.
teeth. Iron your
Do you
top.
know what I mean?
Yeah. People that don't iron kills me. Someone can walk about with an unironed top on. I don't care. If it's the weekend and you're lounging about, whatever, right?
Yeah.
We talk about people turning up to work here. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh. I seen an interesting stat. There's a girl that I follow online that runs girls sales academies. She's pretty awesome. And her info's really good. She's a girl boss, right? I love her. She's quite sassy, super confident. I've showed you loads, right? Shelley.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Very sassy.
She's brilliant, but her information's really, really good as well, right? I think she's quite epic. Funnily enough, an ex-direct sales girl who ran a direct sales company and used to knock doors, right? Which is probably produces most of the best salespeople that are out there. And I'm sure it was her that was going through a stat that women, she was talking about women, right? Women who wear makeup do 30% more sales.
Wow.
And makeup is just making your appearance look a little bit better, right? I'm not talking about cakes, but different level. And, you know, a beard is makeup for a guy, I heard somebody say once, right? Like being able to do a nice hairstyle and a beard makes a huge difference to people's appearance. And let's be honest, when someone takes care of their appearance, it makes them more attractive. And when you're more attractive, you're more appealing. If you're more appealing, you're going to get further ahead than someone who's not in any career. That's it. But you're right, it's not about buying best designer gear, it's about taking a bit of pride in how you look and how you come across. I think your image is how you look and also what you say.
Yeah.
So I think those two, and taking pride in both those things is going to have.
And I think a really easy way to judge that and to realise the effect of that is how many times as we have people looked at a person and made an assumption just purely on the visual.
Yeah. If the homeless guys, you don't know they're homeless, but they've a suit, shirt and tie, shiny shoes, hair's done, shaven, look nice. They've got a watch on that looks, you don't have to have an expensive, you don't have to, you can dress in Primark and look great. You can look absolutely unbelievable, but you know, on the flip side of that, there's some people that are probably super successful that look like shit. And
that this like leads perfectly onto my next question then. So as an entrepreneur, well done. It's unplanned actually. And as an entrepreneur, how do you feel like your lifestyle feeds into your personal brand? And if so, how, like, and if you feel like they are related, how do you go about curating that brand?
It's a very loaded question, Amanda.
I have faith in you, if that helps.
That's all right. I'm not saying I can't answer that. It's fully loaded, that one. It's a deep. All right, let's just talk about personal brand, right, and the effect on. Let me try and explain this and articulate this. So we're going to start a brand next year called Beyond Human. We're going to build a company that our mission statement is going to make the world healthier one person at a time. Healthier. We're not saying fitter. It's not about going to the gym. It's about feeling better from the inside out, right? Basically what I do, we want to make people operate at a higher level. My lifestyle has to suit that, because if I'm going to be a brand that's promoting health and well-being, and I'm not the best example of health and well-being in general, then it's hypocritical. So there's going to be a clash. You know, if I go to McDonald's, some of the guys in the office, it was one of their birthdays yesterday, it was Chandler's birthday yesterday, and they looked at me last night and they're like, do you want to come to McDonald's for Chandler's birthday? And I kind of pulled a face. I'm like, me, McDonald's? And they're like, you can have fruit, you can get a fresh on. So they start saying, and I generally says to them, I'm like, I can't be seen inside McDonald's.
Yeah.
And they're like, but why? And I'm like, it's not on. And I say this word, it's not on brand. I can't be seen in a McDonald's, because if someone sees me in McDonald's, then sees an ad for Beyond Human, they think I'm full of shit. So if I'm going to be, when we're talking about brand, my lifestyle is my brand. It's what you do 24/7. So again, I told you this last week, like that's why I'm getting up processed sugar, not because of it, but I can't. if that's going to be your company, I can't ever do anything that goes against that. What that does. So my lifestyle is going to have to change based on the business I'm trying to build. That's a big jump. I can't have a sip of my wife's Diet Pepsi anymore. I can't have a nibble at the kids' chocolate anymore. I can't eat a fucking crisp. I have to live the life. So that I think is a huge effect on your brand. If your brand is health and well-being, you need to be healthy. And if your brand's,
But I also think like your lifestyle becomes your reputation, and I think your reputation then becomes your brand.
Yeah, of course.
So if your lifestyle is to go out and like take away, because not many people are necessarily gonna own a wellness brand, so that's quite an extreme example, but just think of like someone in sales, like if your lifestyle is to be out all the time and like always drinking and always like out at a party, like if that is your lifestyle, that is what becomes your reputation, and that is how people will also then treat you, and that is what your brand becomes.
Yep, 100%.
So I think it is, again, you can't really separate them, because there's people, and
you're always unsure,
rightly or wrongly, from my perspective, I do judge people based off of their lifestyle.
Yeah, of course.
And I do judge people's, and like I'll talk about it from our perspective in terms of kind of recruitment. I always judge how seriously people are taking their careers and how seriously they're taking it based on what their brand is.
Yep.
So people are always going to make judgments on you.
Of course, you're unsure 24/7. I get taught that. Definitely. But if you're someone who's coaching people and being nice to people, but then you're rude to the waiter or you're rude to the person on the train, that's a contradiction, right? I don't like contradictions. You know when I knew I was on brand with my health and wellness?
When?
This morning, when someone in our office who's 18, he was talking about the morning. I was eating salmon and 3 eggs, and he's like, asked something about my day. And I was like, oh, when I went a 4-mile run this morning, blah, 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 I was in pain, blah, blah. And he looked at me and says, you make me feel like a little boy when I'm around you. I'm like, what? What do you mean? And he went, you're just a beast, aren't you? You're just different. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I feel like I'm weak when I'm around you. You're just fucking always at it. And I'm like, great. That's the brand. I have to have that brand. As a leader for the boys. But when it comes to the health and wellness part, I'm already, my brand is, you got me an apple for my birthday with a candle in it, and for my and this is when I know my brand's right. You guys chipped in, got me a PMF mat. Wife bought me a grounding mat. My other friends bought me like ice bath, and
kids
like
bought you gym outfits.
My kids bought me running gear, and so that means that is my brand as the guy who's trying to live longer and be healthy and live his best life, right? And so, and also my brand is I like the sun, because everybody that ever talks to me is like, where you going next? I'm like, what you talk about? And they're like, you're always in the sun. I'm like, nowhere. But yeah, I think that's on brand, is people's perception of you, and everybody's perception of me was quite evident on my birthday. And then when that boy says that to me this morning, it's like, but what's good about him saying that for me as a leader, and it's what's funny in the back, he's like, do you think I should be doing all that stuff? And I says, you're 18, probably not. I says, well, I hit my 30s before I started worrying. I said, you've got natural things in your favour just now. You probably don't have to think too much about putting on weight or living. Like, you've got all the energy, you've got growth hormone pumping through your body, 3 testosterone. You don't need to be taking most of the supplements. I take them because I'm a wee bit older, right? But it was good because for me, when someone looks at your brand, it's also, let's go back. We've done a podcast in coaching. He'll be really coachable to me, because if someone looks up to you and goes, you're unbelievable at something, they also succumb to you teaching them at the same time, because they treasure your opinion, because they can see you living it. So yeah, I think a lifestyle and brand, forgot the question, but goes hand in hand.
Covered it, don't worry.
Great.
So what would your advice be to someone when it comes to them, I guess, designing a lifestyle that positively would contribute to their entrepreneurial journey?
Build your dream life with your dream people. As cheesy as that sounds, I did check myself this morning and remind myself that the life I'm living I should be really grateful for. So I started building my dream life a long time ago, and that's first figuring out what would make you happy and what your version of life, right? And let me explain dream life. Dream life is when you get to a point where if it stayed the same for the rest of your life and then you died, you die happy. So that's different for everybody. Somebody's dream life might be a 2-bedroom apartment, a Ford Kia. I don't even know if it is Ford that do Kia. Kia's actually a different brand. Sorry, I'm going to correct myself before you start typing stuff up on Instagram and TikTok, people. But it might be a Kia car. It might be your ability to go to, spend once a year for 2 weeks holiday. So everybody's dream life's a wee bit different. So you have to first of all figure out what your dream life is and design it like an architect would design something, and then you have to reverse engineer how you get that dream life. I think the dream life's important, right? You got to figure out the things that make you happy and the things that make you better, and the time and the frequency of those things that you have to do.
I also think it also feeds back to the last episode or the episode before that we were talking about habits. Like, you also have to evaluate what is like aiding you and what is hindering you. Like, what is your current lifestyle?
Yep.
And what is putting blocks on helping you get to where you want to be, and what's not there to help you get to where you want to be.
Even the gym you go to has an effect, because the people in the gym will have an effect on you. The equipment in the gym will have an effect. If you go to a gym where it doesn't have the right equipment, you're going to spend time in the gym frustrated all the time. If you go to the gym where there's loads of wee shits hanging about talking rubbish that frustrate you, you're not going to be as happy as you could be. So I think finding the places you want to eat, finding the people you want to hang out, I think everything you do in your life should be a place that makes you happy. People always slag me off because I want to go to Dubai all the time on holiday. That's because when I go to Dubai, I feel happier than anywhere else currently. Doesn't mean that's going to be forever. It's just because right now when I go there, I feel better than I do anywhere. I don't put my finger on what I just do, so I do it as much as humanly possible. And if I go somewhere that I don't like, I try not to go, because why would I do that? Anything in your life that causes you frustration that you don't have to do, and you're doing through choice, cut it out. Anything in your life that makes you feel happy that you can do, figure out how much you can do. Some of these things cost money, right? And you have to go away and figure out how to be able to afford to do it. But that was always good for me, because designing your dream life, and again, going home to a house that you're happy in, waking up in a house you're happy in, waking up beside someone you're happy to wake up beside, people texting you that you're happy texting, all these things contribute to how you feel. And again, I'm a massive believer in how if you feel good, you'll do good. If you feel great, you'll do great. If you feel unbelievable, you'll do unbelievable. If you feel shit, you'll do shit. Because everything's energy, right? And I know being all hoity-toity and fucking it, but it's just fact. Think about when you do your best work. You're happy, you're in the zone, you're enjoying what you're doing. So think about when you have your worst days, you don't feel good. And 9 times out of 10, that's external factors and not you.
I think a good starting point is just evaluating where you are now and then where you want to be. Like evaluating what your current lifestyle is.
Yep.
And then what you want this dream lifestyle to look like.
Yeah.
And what are the fundamental things that would need to change.
And along the way, and then just along the way, my wife made a really good point yesterday, but it just shows, and then we'll say for me the journey I've came on, right? So I thought we'd been in our house for 3 years. It turns out we've been in it for 4. I asked my wife yesterday, I needed information on something. I was gearing it up to when we moved in the house, and I'm like, if we've been here 3 years, and she's like, we've been here 4. And then on the back of it, she says, this is literally the longest we've stayed anywhere. 17 years together.
That's mental.
She's like, this is the longest we've ever stayed in a house. You do realise that. But in my defence, I was always trying to move to something that made me happier, whether it be an area, a street, a house, a bigger garden, nicer neighbours. Like I was always, so even though it takes time to get to the dream life, you don't go for life I don't like to dream life overnight. There's wee stepping stones. So I'm constant, and some of it's trial and error. I thought my dream life was going to be in Oz. I went to Oz. Still my dream life, not my wife's. So that to be a compromise there, right? And you know, I still think my life could be better, and I'm still trying to work towards either a farm or a beach. I'm like, I'm going to end up on one or the other, man. I either have a big farm of land or I'm staying on the beach.
I feel more beach vibes for you. I don't see farm
I get my
vibes.
wife out the country. Anyway, sorry. Well, I'm going to keep pecking away at that because I'm an obsessive person. I'm about 64 and I'm like, beach, Dubai, Marbella. Please, the kids are old. We've got like great grandkids. Can we just leave? So I think, but yesterday when she says that was a good indication of, yeah, we have moved a lot, but why have I moved a lot? Because I always seen something that would make me happier and done it. I never moved because I had to move. Every one of the houses I had, I still could have had today. And it's really funny because I didn't believe in buying a house until I was ready to settle, because I knew I was going to keep doing stuff. Then when I found something that where I was happy enough to keep it until I died. And so right now, if my life didn't get any better, I'd still die happy. Still try to make my life better, because why not? I'm here anyway, right? And I give it a best shot. But if this is the best my life's going to get, then I'm happy. That's when I'm settled. Everything else after that's just a game, right? Everything else after that's just a wee bit of fun. But you got to work towards that life, because that life gives you, I mean, if you're waking up in a house that you wanted to wake up in, and you're in a street you wanted to be in, you get in the car you want to be in, or go on the train that you wanted to get the wee train journey. If you're in a wee village that you wanted to be in, if your neighbours are the nice neighbours that you wanted, and all these wee things that you're going to go through your whole day, they're all going to contribute towards you feeling better. So you have to design that, and then you have to figure out how to get it, and then you have to work your ass off to get it. And it might take a long time. I've seen an interesting thing that most millionaires aren't millionaires until they're over 40, and it takes most of them 30 years to acquire $1 million. So,
and it's like a snowball, and it just amasses once you get there.
Talks about how the world thinks that all these, you see a couple of kids online they've made 10 grand in a month that talk about millionaires, and they're just like, you'd be a millionaire overnight, and let me show you my 5-step secret. And we're just overloaded with people promising the world and delivering nothing, and it's just a start. It just shows you all these stats of these very super rich people that never became rich for a long time. So point being is, when you figure out when you design your dream life, just understand that it's probably going to take a while to get to, and that's fine as long as you get there.
Yeah, 100%. And so, what does that look like for you? I know we've kind of spoken about it in terms of you saying kind of cutting out sugar and stuff again, but let's say the next 5 years, how do you see your lifestyle evolving as your journey evolves?
Ooh. It's going to get really soppy really quick.
Great.
Heads up.
Like you to leave before you start that?
So, my wife recently got into the gym, right? And I don't like training with people. The only person in the world I would like go to the gym is my wife.
That's cute.
It's going to get really soppy. She's just started to go to the gym. She looks great. She's starting to get into it. And so my lifestyle will get better next year when I'm not tied to an office, and we can drop the kids off at nursery, and I can go work out with her, and then I can go work. I'll get on work before. So I got on work like 3 till 9. It's 6 till 9, sorry, not 3 till 9.
God, am I doing it at 3?
But yeah, my lifestyle will improve with that. My lifestyle next year, I don't want to be tied down to an office. I coach that many people in that many different places. I need to be able to jump on a plane or a train at a moment's notice to go help people. So I'll be free as a bird, but still busy, still in places, but never tied to the same place every day. So that's gonna change. I'm trying to think how we frame this in the next 5 years. My lifestyle is going to change. I mean, the things that will make me happy is I'll start to do things internationally and start to travel a lot internationally and be in a plane a lot. Oh God, I think my personal life, as in gym, things that make me happy, the time I spend, the people that I'm friends with, and the people that make me happy won't change in the next 5 years. I'll make more friends. There's people that are going to be my friends that don't even know they're going to be my friends yet. That's a fact. And I've proven before that I can make that happen, because I've told people would be my friends 2 years ago, and they're my friends now. So there's definitely people that I want to have relationships with that are based in the States, and I will find a way of having a fucking relationship with those people. I'll pay my way first to having a relationship. So there's definitely some mentors and stuff that I want. But I think my lifestyle will change very dramatically. I could see myself not see myself, by the time I'm 50, I'm definitely going to have to bounce on some jets to go to some conferences or go to some meetings in different places around the world. That's the plan. That's the lifestyle change. That won't happen till I'm 50. The next couple of years I'll be here and be in the States. What I do in my personal life's not going to change. As the girls get older, maybe some stuff will change just because it changes with them. But with me, I don't think I could lead a better personal life if I tried. I don't think there's anything I can add to that anymore. I'll take it away. But business life will change dramatically. And I'm not going to wear a suit. After next June, I'm done with suits, man.
Well, we'll come back in 5 years' time and see where your lifestyle's at.
I'll have a very long beard, long grey hair. I'll do this with shorts on. I'll be super tanned because all the trips I go will be somewhere sunny.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to go to Alaska for a meeting. I don't go to Alaska for meetings.
I'm busy on that day. But thank you so much.
Nowhere cold, man. Everywhere hot.
I enjoyed that. Some good little tidbits on lifestyle there.
Hope so.
And we are talking about at some point doing one specifically on like wellness and stuff like that. So that one will maybe come soon.
Wait till I get my six-pack back and I just...
No. Imagine how cold you'd be then.
Like 2 kilo away for you.
Imagine how cold you'd be if you had to sort your six-pack up.
No dummy fat.
But thank you so much. And we'll see you all next time.
See ya.
Bye.
See you. There's a camera there.